afternoon. It's a lovely afternoon here in Latvia. Going to go for a little run and then, as usual, a little chat because I like to talk. Because I don't get to talk much English here. It's a good excuse to have a talk. So let's go for a little ride. So today is a Sunday, so not much traffic around. Yesterday was a busy day. We had a town event, the birthday of the area, Balvu Novad's area birthday. So, but today it's all very quiet and a beautiful day. Today it's going to be 29 degrees. As you can see, everybody playing volleyball on my left. Very popular in the town in the summer. Lots of people playing. So we're going to go for a very short drive up to the lake and a little talk. Always talking. Oops, left my indicator on. A rookie mistake. We all do it. Okay. What a perfect day. I don't know what the name of this vlog will be. Maybe something like I don't need a bigger bike. I know one of my recent ones was I need a bigger bike. Now I'm going to do one that says I don't need a bigger bike. Because I don't need a bigger bike. So sometime in the future we'll be saying goodbye to the DL1000 and we'll be hanging on to our Himalayan. And hopefully we'll be introducing Vespa GTS, which is another one of my passions, which opens up a whole new world for doing a few videos using the Vespa. As I said before, I've had Vespas since I was about 25. I've been riding Vespas. And I had a couple of Lambrettas as well. So I'm a bit of a scooter nerd. I like the scooters. So I have the best of both worlds now. I'll have the Enfield motorbike and I'll have a scooter. I don't need speed, folks. I just don't need it. The DL1000 is a wonderful bike. And it's great, especially on road for cruising on bad roads and for a little bit of off-road. But realistically, I don't go speeds that I need it. I don't need that much power. And I'm not interested in it. It tempts you to ride faster when you have a lot of power. Every now and again you like to ride faster, which I've done once or twice. And after doing it, I said to myself, do I really need this? And do I really need this? And the answer is, no, I don't. I've had 4 motorcycle accidents in my life. and in 3 of them, people pulled across my path in front of me, turning. One through a red light, one through a gap in traffic, and one turning across my path. I don't need this. I really don't. Sorry, we're looking at the sky there for a minute. My camera decided to give you a view of the wonderful sky today. But I don't need this. I just don't need them. I don't need the power. I don't use the power. It's a waste of everything. So I'm happy with my little Himalayan. On roads like this, perfect. Little back roads and things like that. So really, I suppose I got the big bike because I wanted to ride at the club, the local club, who are my bike riding friends in Latvia. But I wasn't happy riding a bit faster than I'm used to, so I was going to just go alone. And fair play, the guys in the club said, no hurry, don't go alone, stay with us. You can do support, like I wanted to do with my van, so I'm doing that. So I really don't need the DL. It's not necessary. Let's see if there's anyone here. I've just stopped beside the park. This one is called Pensions Park because it's down the road from the local pension house, the old folks house. So this is the old folks park, which is an older park here, and very quiet. And I'm inside this little gazebo, which is wonderful for sitting. There's the bike there. Where is it? Ooh, there's the bike. So I'm inside this little gazebo. And it's great echo here. Not talking too loud as usual because there's people around. So as I was saying, I don't need the DL. It's not me. I'm not into speed. I'm riding it at 3,500 revs, 3,000 revs, right in the clutch chatter zone. I'm not giving it any throat at all. And a couple of times I did, I just thought, do I need this? I don't need it. I just don't need it. So I got a bit fed up, and I was going to sell. At one stage I was going to sell both bikes and get myself just get the Vespa. And I thought, no, I have a wonderful group of motorcycle friends, and it's nice to get out on a bike as well, and a little bit more power in the Enfield, of course, and better for the roads. As you can see, a lot of forest roads around here, so it's better for the forest roads. I don't want to wreck a GTS on forest roads and stuff like that. So here's that little gazebo, which is very nice, in the Pensions Park. We have a little area for cooking. Sometimes you get guys here and they're fishing and they like to cook something. And if it rains, you can run in there and leave your fishing rod somewhere. Grab my tripod because I know I'll lose it if I don't. I use this sometimes for shots with the camera. Okay, so I'll show you right beside the lake here. go for a little walk. Well, that's the plan. To let the DL go and save up for the Vespa GTS. And for the foreseeable future, keep the Himalayan. Shove the best of every world, and I still have my bike club as support in my van. It's a lovely place for fishing. Look at this. Absolutely perfect. That's the bridge across the lake. Another lake on the other side of the bridge. Local park is there. I'm somewhere over there. And there's some factories and whatever. And then up there is the top of the lake. So, and it's a lovely place. Lovely and calm. On a perfect day. So, just let you take that in for a minute. Lovely sound of the water. Anyway, back to bikes. So I'm happy with my decision. It's going to be hard to sell the DL. Hard to sell bikes in Latvia. Easy to buy bikes. They don't want to haggle. Usually the price is almost, you won't get much of a reduction. In Ireland you could haggle for ages. You actually have a bit of fun. They'd expect you to haggle. But in Latvia, not much haggling. They might give you 100, 200 at the most if the bike is $3,000. You know. The DL is advertised now, and nothing happening. It'll be very quiet. Maybe it'll sell this year. Maybe I'll have to wait till next year. If I have to wait till next year, I have to get it tested. We have a test here, like the MOT test they have in the UK, and the NCT test they have in Ireland. We have a test here, but in Ireland they don't have the NCT test. They have that for cars. They don't have it for motorcycles. Yet. I was talking to my friend Peter. Hi Peter. And Peter was saying that they don't have it yet. They were trying to introduce it, but nothing has happened yet. I remember I was working as a courier in Ireland, and wow, some of them bikes were held together with bungee cords and, you know, slick racing tires because there was no tread. It's amazing what people drove. I don't know what it's like now. I think at that stage, at least 20% of the bikes would have instantly been taken off the road completely. But here we do a test, and the test lasts for 2 years. So if we have to get the DL tested next year, because it's due in April, I'll have a 2-year test on it. And that actually helps with the sale, because people want a bike that's being tested. A 2-year test would be good. It means I could keep the price of the bike, you know, and get my GTS. But in the meanwhile, I have to be poor during the winter. It's expensive here. Granulars and heating, like everywhere else in the world, everything's gone up. We don't need to explain why, everybody knows why. So everything's gotten crazy expensive. A DL was a bad decision. If you're going to make a decision to buy a bigger bike or to buy a new bike, take a bit longer than I did. Have a good think about it. Go and test ride it. If you have a friend that has one, get a loan of it and take it on a good long test ride. Make sure you're happy with the height, the weight. Do you really need it? Are you only buying it because you're buying it to feel like you're involved, you know? But be yourself. If you don't really need it, which I shouldn't have bought, don't buy it. For me now, I'm in my happy place. I have my plan to get a Vespa, probably next year, because I have to sell the DL. I definitely cannot buy anything else this year. There's nothing going to be bought this year. But next year it will be Vespa time. I got this as a gift a long time ago. So, well, Christmas time, so don't, I didn't buy it last week. I have a lot of Vespa t-shirts at home from different events. event in Llandudno in Wales. Llandudno. That was in '06. And some other Irish clubs, the Carlow Jaguars, Missing Link, and a few other clubs I was in. Anyway, I'm gonna go for a ride up to the top of the lake, and I'll show you where the lake goes into a river. And depending on the time of the year and how much rain you have, it can be a gushing river or a stream. I definitely think it'll be a stream, a little bit of a river, but it won't be too bad. We have had about 3-4 days rain now in the last 2 months. In 3 months we've had about 7 days rain, so it's been very dry this year, which is great for biking. It's perfect. It's hot, but it's perfect. Here it's midday under this gazebo. It's just wonderful. It's very warm and bright outside. Anyway, I'm going to get myself sorted. I always try to wear protective gear, even when it's hot. It just, it makes sense. I see so many guys riding around the town on their little scooters, their mopeds, and or even some other guys riding around on sports bikes with shorts and runners and little t-shirts. And it's not worth it. I gotta admit, on my LML, which is a Vespa copy, two-stroke PX copy, about 5 years ago, I was in the summer. I'd ride around sometimes wearing my shorts and t-shirt. I was only going to the shop for some ice cream or something, so I'm guilty of it as well. Some of these guys are riding really hard, and if they come off, they'll be sorry. Sorry. Men, we're all big children at heart. Of course you are. As my girl says, you and your toys. We all need our toys. Unfortunately, men's toys are a bit more expensive than boys' toys, so we're in the situation where we spend more. Anyway, there's my wonderful bike behind me. I'm gonna, next thing to try with this cutting out issue, and it hasn't cut out today or the last day, which is very good. I'm gonna try running it on the higher octane fuel. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but let's try it. I won't do any harm. Definitely won't do any harm to run on the higher octane fuel. Don't worry, sometimes I look at the screen instead of looking at the lens. I'm looking at the lens now, but a lot of people with phones as their camera have a habit of, I'm now looking at the phone, and you notice it looks like I'm talking to somebody over there. So I need to teach myself to look at the lens. Let's go around the lake, folks. Let's go for a spin. Guys, I don't need a bigger bike. Let's be honest. Gotta be honest with myself. Let's go. And it's comfortable for standing up on, which I'm doing now. It's just right for my height, and with my short legs my arms can reach the bars without having to get risers or anything like that. Now the DL is very comfortable too, but again it's much bigger, more top heavy. It's about 40 kilograms bigger than the Himalayan. So for me, this is grand. I remember working as a courier, and I used to have a lot of DT 175s, two-stroke, the old MX 175s, and the DT125s, the air-cooled ones, and I had some of the DT LCs, the 125 LCs as well, and they were great fun bikes, very small. You know, I was a bit big for them, but they were great, and great bikes as a courier. You can hear that terribly noisy brake on this. Okay, let's go find the other part of the lake. A few times on this road I've seen deer when I was cycling with my lady, and we had deer walking across in front of us, very young deer. So this is a proper little forest road, and we're only 2 minutes outside the town, so we go straight into forestry. Now I'm not sure, somewhere along here is the turn off. That's the turn off for the pension house, the old folks home. So I know it's a bit further up to get to the turn off that brings you to the top of the lake. Usually I come from the other side and I go across and then back into the town. This time I'm on the bike and I'm coming from the other direction. Usually it was cycling. Let's see. I hope you're enjoying the weather. Colin, I hope that rain has stopped in France. Wow, I never knew Brittany got so much rain. We could do with a little bit of that rain here. And Frankie posted a video on Frankie's World about the a friend of his doing it, Shane. Shane was doing a photo session of Frankie and Frankie's bike. And it was nice to see Bray, which is just not too far away from Dublin City. I remember going there with my scooter friends on runs back in the day when, what did scooter riders do? They all went for rides together to the beach, of course, because we like to hang around beaches on scooters. So criteria quadrophenia. But, let me see, I'm just looking out for this turn. I'm not sure which turn it is. Is it that turn? Maybe. Let's try that turn. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's that turn. Let's turn around. Let's do a U-V. Check the traffic. Magic tunnel. Okay. I think it's this turn, possibly. I'll know very shortly. I need to see a house or something that I recognise, then I'll know. Look at these roads, absolutely built for the Himalayan, and a little bit of touring, a little bit of off-roading, gentle, what's it called, mud tracks, whatever. Now, I'm not sure about this road. I think this is the one that leads to the lake. Let's see. As soon as I see the first house, I'll say, yeah, this is the road, or no, I'm on the wrong road. I'm getting a cramp in my leg. I have to stretch my leg out. Okay. Ah, yeah, we're on the right road. I know this house. So let's stand up a little bit, give you a look. I suppose another thing you think of with the Himalayan is the fact that it's tubed tyres. So if you do happen to get a puncture, it's a bit more of a faffing around changing tubes than it would be on a bike like the DL, which is tubeless, and you can have your tubeless repair kit and just stick a plug in it, which I've done before with my other DL when I had a puncture, and it was so easy to fix the puncture, and that puncture repair was in it for another year. Or the Enfield, you got to take the Himalayan, you got to take your tyres off, you got to get your tyre levers off, and for some people it's an awful big job. I haven't had the pleasure yet, so if I had my phone with me at the time, you'll definitely see a video of that. But on local runs here like today, I don't bother bringing a tyre lever or spare tubes or anything, because it's as easy for me to get a lift home from somebody and just get my van, come back up, throw the bike in the van and do it at home. But changing inner tubes can be interesting for people. I've seen some people just gave up and they brought the tube to their local garage and got it changed. Okay, let's go around here. Now, this is coming up, this is on the right hand side of me, there'll be a river. This is coming up to the lake, the top of the lake. Bit sand here, oops. It's sandy, gotta be careful. Okay, here we are. At the top of the lake. I'm surprised there isn't loads of people fishing today. Okay, let's stop here for a few minutes. You notice I was not much good on the sand. I slowed down. I know you're supposed to drive through and all that. Would you believe when I was 12 I first started riding motorbikes with a club in Dublin called the Anchor Club, which is like a youth club, and we done trial riding on Bull Tackos 150s trial bikes, and we had a Greaves 350 and a few other trial bikes. So I started my motorcycle riding as a young lad on trial bikes, but after that I did very little, and now I'm pretty terrible. I don't know. I do find after my few accidents I'm a bit not too confident on the bike. There's that sand. It's quite deep, very sandy stuff. Anyway, we ain't going quick enough for anything to happen. I'm going to get a photo. This will be my screenshot from down there. I'm going to take a photograph from down there of the bike. That'll be a nice shot. Let me show you the top of the lake and the river. Usually there's a lot of people fishing here. I'm very surprised on a Sunday afternoon there's no one fishing. Then again, everybody was partying yesterday in the town because of the birthday. Now here's the poor ducks. They think they're getting something to eat. Unfortunately I have nothing for them. Let's zoom in if you like ducks. Lovely little ducks. Okay, sorry guys, no food for you. Harriet at all. There's the so up there is the lake. There's a boat does trips. A guy called Eric runs trips around the lake on a boat, like a catamaran style boat, and he brings you right up here. And he stops here, and then you go back out into the lake and all around. It's a great boat trip, very reasonable. So I like coming up here. I come up here in the winter sometimes, and there's a lot of ice now. And here's the river that runs now. As I said, it's only a trickle. In the winter, or after the snow is melted, the water would be right here. This whole area would be getting washed away. It's only a trickle now because we've had so little rain. But this would be the relief from the lake, and that river disappears off into the distance. At the moment, we'll call it a stream. On the way back, I want to go this way, because we can go this way, back into the town. So there's loads of, plenty of options what way to go. I'm enjoying the ride today. I hope you're enjoying coming along with me. Yeah, YouTube. I'd love to be good at editing. I'd love to have a few GoPros and an Insta. Is that what they're called? These 360 ones. Maybe next year I might buy one. I've heard a lot of problems people had with GoPros. I heard let's get my mug. I've heard people have a lot of problems with the GoPros. Cards problems and crashing and freezing and battery problems and all sorts of stuff. So I heard the Instas are they're a bit better. I think I can get a bigger memory card for my phone. I'm not quite sure. I know it has that little tiny memory card. So, yeah. Hey, I just noticed something. I just discovered something. Usually I'm wearing my sunglasses when I'm making a video. Now, I'll tell you now, I am looking there. I'm looking straight at the screen. I should be looking there. But with my sunglasses on, you can't tell. That's why I've got away with it. That's why no one said to me, Harry, look at the lens. Stop look. Now I'm a photographer, I should know the difference. But when you're looking at yourself, you want to see how fabulous you look, you know. It's just... Isn't that a lovely place behind me now, isn't that fabulous? So I'm going to throw my lid on, throw my helmet on. I wear a full face most of the time. I like the air and the freedom, and you see around a lot better. Yes, I know it's not so safe. I should know this because I've had a few bike accidents. I'm lucky enough I never hit my face, and I'm unlucky every time it injured my back. But I never hit my face. Every time I woke up after an accident, the face was intact. The other bits were knackered, fractured ribs and fractured toes and stuff like that. Road rash on my back and stuff. But the mug has always survived. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, it's funny because one of my more dramatic accidents where my bike was completely wrecked on my little Honda 125. The doctor actually said to me, do you know something? He said, usually I'll tell a patient you're overweight, you know, you're a bit obese. He said, in your case, he said, you're lucky. Because he said, you fractured your ribs quite badly. And he said, if you were a little thin guy, he said, you would have been in serious trouble. So I was laughing. I was saying, so it's good to be fat. He said, in this occasion, in this one time, he said, I'll give it to you. You were lucky you were a bit overweight. so this airbag. That's the airbag. It's the first time a doctor said to me, oh, you're lucky you were eating too much. I've lived by them words the rest of my life. I said, hey, hold on a minute. Doctor told me I was lucky to be overweight. Anyway, you're not lucky to be overweight, and I wish I was smaller. And I eat very good, and I fast 1 day a week. But then I also eat very bad, and I don't exercise enough. So, there you go. Okay, let's go. Across the bridge we go. A little bit bumpy here. Happy to show you a bit of the Latvian countryside, so close to the town. Okay, right onto the road. Maybe this is the best way of showing you without the screen. Stand up on the foot pegs. I am standing up on the foot pegs. Let me show you. Careful, Harry, careful. There we go, look. I am standing up on the foot pegs. Over to the right is a sign there. You can see that sign. That's the old Jewish graveyard. I'll bring you up there someday. I have to walk, not on the bike. And that graveyard was in use up until I think it was 1936. Now, those of you who like a bit of history will know exactly what happened in 1936, 35, 36. So that's why the old Jewish graveyard was not used after that. And I'll do a little vlog one day where I'll explain to you and I'll show you what happened in 1936. Or 37. I must check my dates correctly. Okay, let's continue. That was our local sewerage plant we just passed by, which doesn't smell, which is good. We don't smell in our town. We're all lovely people. Okay, we're coming to a junction now. Let's stop here. Little check. As usual, nothing at all for miles. Straight out we go. Now this road's very bumpy because there's a machine that drives up the roads to clear it. But unfortunately the machine leaves these, as you can see, shaking like crazy. The machine leaves these tracks on the road that actually make it ridiculous. You can see my bike shaking, my pannier shaking, everything's shaking. And it's kind of ridiculous. Even in cars. Doesn't do the electrics any good with all your block connectors shaking like crazy. It's ridiculous. Now, we have done this little bumpy road for about half a kilometre. Then we're onto the proper road. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. I have to go into the middle a bit, maybe it's better. Now you know why I ride an Enfield. And not a Comet 350 or a Bullet 350. Now you know why I ride an Enfield Himalayan. Sorry, I should say. Now you know why I ride a Himalayan. Because this would rattle your bullet to bits. So this is much more manageable on the Himalayan. So very soon we'll come out of this. And we're on the town limits. I have to laugh. Some people say the city limits. They call the town a city. In my book, this is definitely a town. Here we go. On the left, there used to be a big meat factory, pig meat and sausages and stuff like that, back in the old Soviet times. This is a big, massive meat factory where they used to slaughter and provide meat. So a lot of people in the town, this would have been the main employer in the town. A lot of people in the town would have worked. It's now all gone. Only a few years ago, I have photographs of the ruins of this original meat factory. Now they built these factories, and now we just have a wood factory mostly. The rest is just storage factories. So unfortunately, that was a very interesting place. I done some photography a few times up there. Ah, do you know what I just remembered? I forgot to take my screenshot of the bike at beside the lake. I'll invent something. So I'm now going down to the shop to get my dinner. So today I cooked for myself. And believe me, it's something very simple, because I am the only person I know who can burn boiled eggs. Yes, you heard me right. I can burn boiled eggs. So